On to you, Taurus out here. So you have the Six of Pentacles, you Taurus have the Four of Wands, and you Taurus also have the Page of Cups. It's gotten worse for the person who missed the opportunity to be with you, messing around. Don't get it twisted. They're still planning on messing around and being an idiot. But the only difference now is that they're just pretending like they're actually going to put in work. The Six of Pentacles, Four of Wands, and the Page of Cups, they'll say anything, right? Page of Pentacles trying to get you to come back in with gifts or whatever. Four of Wands, Page of Cups. They may even hint at a relationship or a relationship leading up to marriage. But they won't actually say that. They'll just hint at it. And the Page of Cups, for you Taurus who are done for real and you're done with them, they're delusional. Because at this point, they don't really seem to really grasp and really understand that they played themselves, in essence. They should have taken you, Taurus, more seriously. But then again, make no mistake about it, though. You know, they're a hyena. So they're going to do what hyenas do. They own some hyena tactics. So now, the Ten of Pentacles and the Chariot right here represents how, and since that's the case, a lot of you, okay, I'm just making sure because I'm getting notifications. Ten of Pentacles and the Chariot represents how, you know, they'll, like I said, they'll talk about how it is that, you know, they see a future with you. But here's the problem though, Taurus. They still have some form of connection. They still have a way to reach out to you. So if you Taurus still are in connection with them, where they can still reach out to you, you need to actually kind of, like I said before, you need to go radio silent. You need to actually disconnect, period, from them. Because see, that's part of where the dysfunction is coming from. The connection, your presence even is part of the problem, because they're never going to stop being dysfunctional until you 100% disconnect. That's one thing that I learned recently, because recently I was thinking to myself, you would think that dysfunctional people who are really delusional like that would get the point that breaking you down isn't going to work and it's time for them to stop. But they're so delusional and so warped, or whatever kind of mental state they're in, they'll never stop doing it because they are compelled to be as dysfunctional as possible. So they'll never stop doing it. That's how warped they are. So whatever they're doing it for, whatever is the purpose, because you have different people who do things for different purposes, whatever the purpose is, they'll never stop. So you kind of setting the record straight, it will never stop. They'll find a way to do this. The only way that they'll stop is that they actually have to change. But change cannot be done through running game on them, trying to get back at them. It only will work if they themselves, first person, change has to happen from a first person's perspective. And see, my dear Taurus, this is where a lot of people end up getting it wrong, because, you know, they delude themselves into thinking, I'm going to try to get on the nerves of a person who thinks like that. And it's like, why would you do that? You're trying to get on the nerves of a person who, in all intensive purposes, who has gone way too far with their ego and will do anything to save face when it comes to their ego. And it's like, and the plan is to play games with their ego. That makes no sense. And that's a poor strategy. And see, the thing is that, so the Ten of Pentacles and the Chariot represents, if you have any kind of connection with them, where they still have a way to reach out to you, and you still get their text messages or phone calls from them. You need to excommunicate from them. All of the social media presence that you may have with them, you need to disconnect from them. And until you've done that, it's wrong. And the reason why it's wrong is because I'm telling you, they're not going to stop. I'm just letting you Taurus know so that for future references, if I come up and I'm like, some of you Taurus still connected with this person and you need to let go, you Taurus can't come back to me and say, well, why are you being so hard on us? Because this person is not going to stop. That's just how people who have that kind of mentality works. I'm telling you the nature of the thing. I'm explaining to you the nature of the thing. I'm explaining to you, Taurus, the nature of what actually happens, right? How they think, the mentality that they have, their actions. I'm explaining to you what they do behind what it is that you see, right? Like the parts that you don't see behind what you see, where it comes from. And then you have the Five of Swords, right? So even if you've disconnected from them, which you Taurus who have disconnected from them, you're ahead of the curve, they're still going to reach out to you again. Here's the situation though. The Devil in the Tower, they have to go through a time of shame. This is not you being torn down. The Tower wouldn't be a Taurus video if it didn't have Scorpio in it. But the Tower, it does not mean your life. The Tower is their lives. Because see, they have to deal with their shame of not being able to run game on you. While the Devil represents, they now know that you're more intelligent than what it is that you are. They thought you originally were. They thought that you were essentially prey. They thought that you were an easy target, and you're not. Thankfully so, that you're not an easy target. And so because of this, right, they have to deal with the shame of thinking that you were an easy target for a while. And then somehow things flipped and they don't know how it could have because they had you up underneath their control. They're so stupid. Oh my gosh, I can't believe people think like this. Holy moly, people actually think like this. But that is pathetic. Holy moly. Imagine a person who spends all their time trying to look to control people. That is pathetic. Anyway, that is sad and pathetic at the same time. Anyway, so the thing is that the Ace of Cups and the Seven of Cups represents how, and so because of this, the Ace of Cups is you, but the Seven of Cups represents them in the sense that they can't think of you. They don't want to think about how you Taurus are actually giving yourself to other people, how you Taurus are actually going out there without them. They're not in the picture. And you Taurus actually dating everyone else other than them. You know, it's messing with them because it's like, how dare you Taurus go out there and meet other people? How dare you Taurus actually heal and move forward with your lives? And of course you were and are. Why wouldn't you? Right? So let's clarify some of these cards. Let's clarify the Ace of Cups. And see, to go back, this is why it is that I was saying that. See, you know, you'll have like content creators who will make YouTube videos talking about how you made the egomaniac mad. Why would you want to make why would you want to provoke an egomaniac? An egomaniac is a person, or a narcissist is a person who will go to extreme lengths, including criminal lengths, in order for them to save their ego, Why would the first instinct be to get someone who has that kind of mentality mad? This is the reason why it is that I keep saying, Taurus. Oh, I didn't even shuffle up the cards, but it is what it is. It's too late to turn back. But this is what it is that I keep saying, Taurus, about being very wise with the content creators who do this tarot stuff, because as it is that I was learning from an excellent book edited by Bobby Hemmett. Shout outs to Bobby Hemmett, wherever he is, one of the greats. Um, in the book, basically, as he edited it and made his own modifications, allegedly. In the book, he basically talks about how, an excellent book that I have, right? Hold on a second. Let me actually go and find it. This is the book right here. And in this book, it basically talks about how it talks about like vampirism, and it talks about how people use games and tactics to break you and to treat you like trash. But it's rare. It's a rare book, thankfully. But meaning thankfully I got one, but it is a rare book, unfortunately. But in the book, though, he's basically talking about how it is. In the book, he's basically talking about how it is that what he learned is that the same thing that I'm telling you here, that like, you have to be careful even with the spiritual stuff, because people who have this kind of mentality use spirituality as a means of controlling people. So it goes right back into what it is that I was talking about being careful about picking your readers, because if the stuff is too much like hogwash and they don't know what they're talking about, that's a bad sign. If they can't give you anything that makes sense, and all of it seems like it's mumbo jumbo, a little bit too much, they're looking for followers. They're not actually looking to help you. You understand what I'm saying? They're looking to be a celebrity and to be praised and to have the money. They're being a leech off you. They're parasitizing off you. And so that's what I'm talking about. It's the fact that you, Taurus, have woken up. You have broken the control that they have over you, because that's what they're so upset for. This is what the Tower card represents. They're going through an egotist. Their ego is bruised, but you're doing that safely away from them, because they're melting down. They're having a big problem. They're melting down while you're not looking, of course, because they won't do it in front of people for the majority of the time. Sometimes they will, if they're trying to be theatrical. But the point that I'm trying to make here with that is the fact that you, Taurus, were up underneath their control. And then you went from being underneath their control to now thinking for yourself. They can't wrap their mind around the fact that how could you, Taurus, go from this to that in the twinkling of an eye suddenly? Now you're asking more questions. Now you're paying attention to the actual facts of the relationship. You're paying this connection that you have. You're paying attention to, it's not a real relationship at all. It's not a functional one. It's something where the two of you know each other, but in actuality, they're using you, or they were using you to a certain point. And now they can't handle that, because you, Taurus, are healing. You're doing your thing. You're moving forward. You've actually healed from your situation. And you healed from your particular situation, and now it's a situation for you Taurus, where you actually have more knowledge. You're much more aware of when people will run it, to where it's harder for you now to have people run it on you. And on top of that, you know things to do. You now know how to combat that. So you, Taurus, will be asking questions, waiting to see the actual factualities of relationships. You know, it doesn't matter if a person tells you that they care about you or whatever the case may be, but then they don't ever take you out. They just come over to your house or you come over there to theirs and kick it, but then they're talking like it's a relationship, and it's like it's not. So when you go off and you do your thing, them acting like they're so upset. What you so upset for? We're not in a relationship, goofball. Make it a real relationship. Talk about it. Stop mush mouthing. Oh, what this is. What is this? Say it. And if you can't say it, well, then I'm going to move forward. What you mean? Do something about it then. And see, doing that, see that right there, that's too much pressure for them. They'll break. Then you gonna see them shut down, because now it's you gonna see the terror in their face if you did that. But don't go back to them just to do that, right? So let's clarify the Seven of Cups. You have the Knight of Pentacles, Ace of Wands, Eight of Pentacles, Five of Swords, and then you, Taurus, have the Knight of Swords to clarify the Seven of Cups. So they're sinking while you, Taurus, are rising. You, Taurus, are doing much better. You're slowly but surely coming out of the inability to judge relationships and how people try to use you. You're slowly but surely rising out of that swamp to now being a more accurate observer of that. So when it happens to you, you know what to do when it happens. When they run that, when they pull it, you, Taurus, know, oh, it's time to separate from you. Why? Nah, I've seen this before. Nice try. But you have to wake up earlier than that to get at me. And so the Five of Swords and the Knight of Swords represents, and that reveals now who they are. Because a lot of them will be upset at you, but it will be an anger that is selective. What I'm trying to say is, you, Taurus, will have them kind of wrapped around your finger, because they will blow up on you. They'll have a problem with you, but it will be in spaces other people will observe them. And even if it's not, you will observe them. Because they spend see, there's a lot of effort trying to fit in. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. I'm telling you, it's pathetic. Instead of them be themselves, they spend an exorbitant a lot of time trying to fit in, trying to control other people. It is pathetic. It is pathetic, fam. It is pathetic, fam. That is holy. Imagine being so desperate to be cool. Imagine desperately trying to sit with the cool kids to the point where you completely change yourself just to be seen as cool. But that's essentially what they're doing. And for you, Taurus, you're going to see how they're not authentic. And you're going to catch a lot of them slipping. Just kind of laugh at it, though. But be on guard and be prepared. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. There's a link in the comment section below. It's called a Linktree link. When you click on it, it will take you to a website with a drop-down menu. If you want to get a personal reading from me, come through. It'll say 4 private readings, or you can for a private reading, or you can contact me at Kareemspiritworks@yahoo.com.